My wife was sneaking around with her old friend. The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, its screen glowing with a message that stopped my heart. "Meet me at the usual spot, 10 p.m., it read, from someone labeled Jake, old friend. My wife, Sarah, had left her phone unlocked, a rare slip for someone so guarded lately. I stood frozen, the dinner I was cooking for us sizzling forgotten in the pan, as the weight of those words sank in. Her late-night errands, her secretive smiles, her dismissive, "It's just Jake, relax," it all clicked. My gut screamed betrayal, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to confront her or walk away forever. I'm Ethan, a 38-year-old mechanic who's always believed in fixing things, cars, homes, even relationships. I'm steady, maybe too steady, the kind of guy who plans for the long haul. Sarah, my wife of 10 years, is the opposite. Vibrant, impulsive, a 36-year-old graphic designer whose laugh could light up a room. We met at a friend's barbecue, her wild energy pulling me out of my quiet shell. We built a life in Portland, a cozy house with a backyard we dreamed of filling with kids someday. But lately, her spark felt distant, her evenings filled with excuses about catching up with Jake, a friend from her college days. I didn't know Jake well, just a charming guy who'd pop up at gatherings, always a bit too familiar with Sarah for my liking. The conflict hit like a freight train that night. I'd warned her for weeks that her late-night meetups with Jake felt wrong. "It's my friend, my choice," she'd snapped, her hazel eyes flashing with defiance. I trusted her, or at least I wanted to, but the secrecy gnawed at me. That evening, after seeing the message, I waited. She came home at midnight, her cheeks flushed, claiming she'd been grabbing coffee with Jake. My voice stayed calm, but my hands shook as I held up her phone. "The usual spot, Sarah? What's that about?" Her face crumpled, and the truth spilled out. Jake wasn't just a friend. They'd been meeting for months, their catch-ups turning into something more. She swore it wasn't physical, just emotional, but the betrayal cut deeper than any excuse. My world tilted. Sarah's words, "I was lonely, Ethan, you're always working," felt like a slap. I thought of the extra shifts I'd taken to save for our future, the nights I'd come home exhausted but still made time for her. Her confession wasn't just about Jake, it was about her choosing to hide, to lie, to let someone else fill the space I thought was mine. I didn't yell, I didn't break, I just looked at her, my voice low. "You made your choice. Now I'm making mine." I walked out, her sobs echoing behind me, and checked into a motel, needing space to think. The next days were a fog of pain and clarity. I replayed our marriage, the good years, the quiet drift, the signs I'd ignored. Sarah's texts flooded my phone. "I'm so sorry, Ethan, please talk to me." Her parents called, pleading her case. "She's broken, Ethan, give her a chance," her mom said, voice thick with tears. Her brother even showed up at my shop, saying, "She messed up, but she loves you." I listened, nodded, but inside I was done. Trust wasn't a switch I could flip back on. I thought of my dad who stayed with my mom through her affairs, only to end up hollow. I wouldn't be him. The emotional journey was brutal. I wrestled with love and rage, wanting to hate Sarah but missing her laugh, her warmth. I questioned myself. Was I too distant? Too boring? But no, I'd been there, steady, while she chose to run to Jake. I started seeing a therapist, a gruff guy named Tom who didn't sugarcoat things. "You can't control her choices," he said. "You can only control yours." That stuck. I decided to protect myself, to rebuild the man I was before her lies eroded me. I began running again, the rhythm of my feet on the pavement grounding me. I reconnected with old friends, their support reminding me I wasn't alone. The twist came a month later when Jake called me. I almost hung up, but his voice was shaky. "Ethan, I need to tell you something," he said. He confessed that Sarah had pursued him, not the other way around. She'd painted me as neglectful, distant, a husband who'd checked out. Jake, thinking their connection was real, fell for her story until he saw her texting another guy, someone new, during one of their meetups. "She's not who you think," he said, sounding as broken as I felt. The revelation stunned me. Sarah wasn't just cheating, she was weaving a web of lies, playing victim to justify her choices. It wasn't just betrayal, it was manipulation, a deeper cut than I'd imagined. I confronted Sarah one last time, at our house, now half empty with my things in boxes. She stood in the kitchen, eyes red, begging. "Ethan, I'll change, I swear. I was lost, but I love you." Her words sounded rehearsed, like lines from a script she'd used before. I thought of Jake's call, the other guy, the pattern. "You don't love me," I said, my voice steady. "You love the idea of me fixing this for you." I told her about Jake's confession, watched her face pale as the truth unraveled. "You made your choices, Sarah. Live with them." I walked out, her pleas fading behind me. The ending wasn't tidy, but it was mine. I moved into a small apartment, started fixing up an old Mustang in my spare time, pouring my energy into something I could control. Sarah's family stopped calling, their silence a quiet admission that she'd burned too many bridges. I heard through a friend that she'd moved in with her sister, trying to find herself. I didn't care. The lesson wasn't about her anymore, it was about me. Trust, once shattered, doesn't rebuild easily, and I owed it to myself to protect what was left of my heart. Looking back, I see the man I was, steady, maybe too trusting, and the man I'm becoming, stronger, wiser, unafraid to walk alone. Sarah's betrayal broke something in me, but it also set me free. I don't hate her, I don't need to. She's not my trust, not my heartbreak. As I drive the Mustang under Portland's gray skies, the road ahead feels open, uncertain, but mine, and that's enough.